staying at the source of all things. The birth of light from consciousness is called Tae-Yeog. The birth of Ki from consciousness is called Tae-Cho. The birth of the word of the Creator from consciousness is called Tae-Cho. The birth of and yang, which is dark, bright, negative, positive, from consciousness is called Tae-Shi. The birth of all things from consciousness is called Tae-So. As soon as light is born from consciousness, contradictions of light reveal. The moment Ki is born from consciousness, contradictions of Ki also appear. At the same time, the word of the Creator is born from consciousness. Contradictions in that word are revealed. The moment and yang are born from consciousness, contradictions appear in the energies of and yang. The moment all things are born from consciousness, contradictions are unfolded in all of them. When formless, invisible shapes are created from consciousness, the world of notions and abstraction becomes unfolded. When visible forms are born from formless shapes that have been created from consciousness, the world of signs and symbols becomes unfolded. When visible forms are born from formless shapes that have been created from consciousness, the world of beauty and ugliness is born as well. The birth of images with shapes from consciousness is the birth of colors. Through the birth of colors with shapes from consciousness, all things are endowed with their properties or characters. When images that have shapes are born from consciousness, life forms are born. With the birth of a life form from consciousness, the consciousness that the life form can embody is born. When consciousness stays within the boundaries of consciousness, whether consciousness is right or wrong cannot be assessed. Consciousnesses of higher levels can reveal themselves only through their replications into the consciousnesses of lower vibrational frequency. When consciousness exists only as consciousness, the value of the consciousness cannot be determined. Consciousness can manifest itself only through forms and colors. When consciousness exists only as consciousness, its contradiction will not be exposed. Consciousness can reveal its contradiction only when the consciousness is expressed by a living creature. Consciousness cannot expand or evolve if it stays only as consciousness. If consciousness exists only as consciousness, No new consciousnesses can be born from the existing consciousness. Consciousness is the sacred flame of the spirit soul. Consciousness is the divine flame of life. Consciousness is the divine flames of all things existing in the universe. Consciousness is waves that have vibrational frequencies. Consciousness determines the formats of all things that exist. Consciousness is the reason that all things exist. All things that have come from consciousness are bound to return back to consciousness. In the human body, consciousness is concealed in the forms of unconsciousness and subconsciousness, and then reveals itself as waking consciousness. In the human body, consciousness manifests itself as appearances and colors and is revealed as human thoughts, words, and actions. In the human body, consciousness is embodied as human abilities and talents and reveals itself as human individuality and free will. In the human body, consciousness is unfolded as inspiration and intuition and manifests itself as human reason and emotions. In the human body, consciousness gives birth to the human life cycle composed of birth, aging, sickness, and death, and is revealed as aura energy. In the human body, consciousness causes the vibrational frequencies of cells to change. So, negative consciousness decreases the vibrational frequencies of cells, while positive consciousness elevates the vibrational frequencies of cells. Consciousness manifests itself as different thoughts of people, even if they see the same thing, and is also revealed as different consciousnesses of people, even when they hear the same thing. In addition, consciousness is revealed as people's different ways of awareness about the same feeling. Consciousness gives birth to life forms and the consciousness of life forms. Consciousness enables life forms to enjoy the joy of life, but causes the contradictions of living creatures. The contradictions of living things allow those living things to evolve, resulting in the evolution of their spirit souls. The evolutions of spirit souls bring about the evolution of the universe, resulting in the evolution of the consciousness of the Creator. The origin of all consciousnesses in the universe is the consciousness of the Creator. If you are staying at the source of all things, it means that you are staying within the consciousness of the Creator, who has no end and no beginning. 31st of January 2021, Udeka wrote,